Hey, what's up guys, it's ElasticSpyder here, and in today's video we are looking at a community replay. In this community replay we are looking at some gameplay in the Henri, sent in by ClubbedBySeal, which, what a great name that is. He's playing in the Henri Tier 10 French, very heavy cruiser. One of the things that is nice about the Henri is these 240mm guns. Now before we get into that, if you would like to send us a community replay, send it to BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. Please include the replay itself, any screenshots, preferably all of them, as well as a small little paragraph detailing what goes on in the battle. So again, the Henri. Well, like I said, I would say it's a very heavy cruiser. It's very large, got a large detectability, and very big guns. Very nice speed as well. Some of the fastest speeds in the game, especially for cruisers. So one interesting thing about this ship is that it's got space armor. And the space armor does work quite effectively for against most ships. Battleships will still wreck this thing because at the end of the day it is a cruiser, but some lighter caliber shells do struggle at times. But the other nice thing is that since it has 240mm guns, it has a higher fire chance, slightly longer reload, although that is not very noticeable with things like adrenaline rush and main battery reload, which looks like we are running both here. The other thing that is nice about it is that, well, it is big, but it also gets a nice armor scheme and very nice AP when showing enough broadside. The downside to being big is, well, you get shot at a lot and you get hit up quite a bit, but that's part of the reason why you've got very nice speed, is so you can run away from situations like this. So this is going to be an interesting match. We are playing on the map Hotspot. Sometimes I forget their names, but I believe I got this one right. And we are currently contesting all the caps. B is completely capped. It looks like A is about to be capped relatively shortly here. And then C looks like it is still in contention. So we're just going to be riding the borderline. Honestly, I think we could go dark here if we would like. The other option there is as soon as you get out of this Des Moines radar or gun range, assuming he's running a reload, which he might not, I can kind of just sit here and pound that Richelieu as he is just sitting there helplessly on that corner there. He doesn't have much options there. He either has to turn out or just sit there and get burned. Either way is beneficial to their team. So here in this situation, the Henri are heavily dependent on your team and what your team is doing. And oh my god, I just realized that our CV decided that it was a great idea to go kill himself. And well, not to throw shade, but seriously, Ecom. Seriously, it's the best you can get. I don't know what happened there. I saw a lot of banter in chat and a lot of apparent misplays, I guess. But I guess he actually admits it in chat right there. So not too sure why he did that. Very, very strange. But either way. So one thing here, I know you did, Clubbed, you would like me to kind of help you with your gameplay a little bit. One thing that I've noticed here is the fact that you did come into the map. Now, if you stayed out here, that would have been fine, because you would get nice, good cross shots on the Richelieu. The only downside to that would be you're still getting shot at by the Des Moines and the Iowa. So coming in here was a good play in the sense that you reduce the amount of ships shooting at you, which is good, but then you kind of limit your fighting angles on that Richelieu. So instead of getting, you know, 1,500 damage, 2,000 damage here and there, maybe one fire once in a while, and fighting bow on, you know, if you're working the outside, you're gonna have more of his broadside and much more target to shoot at, and you're gonna get a lot more damage that way. But of course, Henri has high caliber shells, which means it has very nice high explosive chance, or fire chance rather, and that is hopefully going to turn out well here. Luckily for that Alsace, he did not get rammed. Very close though, very close. So there's two options here. Before he made that turn, you could turn left and go fight a Gearing, Des Moines, and Iowa, and kind of stay bow on, but that's definitely not a good idea. So we're going to turn around. Now here is something that I would say is a good idea. Going through A, and then pushing around the corner into those guys, especially if you see Gearing Torps, like 1, 2, 3, those three, and then if you see the second set, definitely push in, at least cap it. But either way, that might be a little bit too aggressive for some. I do like to play my cruisers more aggressive than most. I'm not a big fan of the whole sit in the back and damage farm with the Hindenburg with range and scouting mod, or spotter plane. It's just not my thing. So I'm going to speed up the replay a little bit here, because we're just going to be farming this Iowa. But this is classic Henri gameplay, just working a flank and basically just fighting. So we get that kill on the Henri there, and we have to start kiting Des Moines. And again, here in this situation, this is exactly where we want to be, on a flank, you know, fighting pretty much 1v1 against either enemy cruisers or, you know, enemy battleships. Henri actually fights cruisers and battleships much better than destroyers, due to the fact that, well, it doesn't have radar, but it does have very nice guns. We can see that with these very constant and consistent HE pens. We are getting very nice salvos. We've seen a few 5,000 and a few 4,000, and we eventually get enough fires to get that kill. Again, I'm going to speed up the replay here because it's going to be a little bit before we get another engagement. So, well, while the carrier is dropping on him, I'll discuss the AA a little bit here. The AA is, well, very lackluster. I would say it's not even worth speccing into heavily. Now, some minor things, of course, you can do things like AA range mod, and I would probably always recommend defensive fire. I don't think Hydro would be even nearly as useful as one might think, especially since the way that the Henri should be played, and that's kind of in air quotes there, the way that it should be played is on a flank where you don't need Hydro, and if there is a carrier in the game, you really want to be prepared for that. You want to be prepared for any attempt to strike you by the enemy carrier, if there is one. And you're more likely, from my experience, to get struck by a carrier if you are, you know, by yourself on a flank than having a destroyer come in and you know, wide on a flank and trying to kill you. That's just not going to happen nearly as often. So I do like it here, though. Clubbed, you are trying to utilize both the shell types on the Henri, and it actually does pay off for you there with a nice AP shell hit. It only took one for you there, which was good to see. Very nice aim. So in this situation where it's a 4v5, you really want to be sticking close to your allies, especially when there is a midway with APE dive bombers in the game still. And I know, I know your Musashi's kind of out by himself, but honestly, he has to get his act together. He needs to be pushing in as fast as possible. But with 2 BBs left, well, it's just going to be a full farm at this point. Of course, with 2 BBs, that means that they can set up a very nice crossfire like it seems like they are doing here. And unfortunately, it looks like, are we going to take this torp? No, fortunately, it runs out for us here. And that's going to be very nice. So here I would say in this situation, I would... There's 2 options. You can either turn out and basically fight the Suzuma by himself and leave the Worcester out to die, or you can angle like looks like Clubbed is doing here, and angle mostly to the Izumo and then fight that DeGrobe. That's looks like the best option at this time. And then, you know, worst comes to worst, you can always torp against the DeGrobe and that sort of thing, which it looks like we might be doing here pretty soon. Now, I was talking earlier about the nice AP, and let's see if we can't get a nice good salvo or 2 off on this ship. And, well, that was strange. A very weird citadel there. It looked like we aimed right at the superstructure and maybe hit the conning tower or something and got a citadel, or I don't even know. Maybe it went down through the front barbette or something. I have no clue there. But very nice AP salvo, 9,500 damage there. And now all we have to do is fight a midway, AFK Charles, and then Mizumo that's firing high explosive. So I think the right move here is just to kill off that midway. Killing off the midway, you know, as fast as possible is the best option. The reason it's the best option is because it is well, it's a lot of points, and if you can you know, have his deck on fire for a while, there's no point, or you know, he can't really launch his planes very effectively. He can still launch them if he has I forgot what perk it is, what the name of it, but it allows the carrier's aircraft to take off while the deck is on fire. I believe it's like servicing expert or something like that. But I think this is the right choice here. Just killing this guy off. We actually get a Kraken from the Henri, or from the Charles Martel, and then a Witherer from this midway as well, which is very nice. Now, the midway the midway deck is quite strong, so at this range, AP against it is very ineffective. Even our HE can't pen that midway deck, so you're gonna have to actually hit pretty much like the side of the ship, where it's not as heavily armored. However, you can still get fires on the deck, which is nice, but no actual high explosive pens. And, well, adding insult to injury, well, midway you're trying to run away, I'm sorry, but it's not going to work with an Henri. So I'm going to speed the replay up here again. Overall, I thought you played this quite well. The one thing I do like, and we get a nice high caliber there, the one thing I do like is you conserve your HP as much as possible. You didn't make any rash decisions. And that's the biggest thing that I could give advice for in cruisers, is being able to conserve your HP, especially for later game, because in the late game, cruisers are very impactful, and they have a large chance to influence the game. And with that kill, that finishes the game off. Alright guys, so looking at the post-battle results, we ended up with 207k there. 10 planes shot down. I know I was saying the Henri A isn't very good, but it's effective enough with defensive fire going. But we managed 6 kills, 16 fires, 2 citadels, 1 on the Grove, which was just beyond me. Witherer, Arsonist, Kraken Unleashed, and High Caliber. Very, very nice game. Their score wise, well, we didn't top out Captain Toaster, oddly enough, who had a very, very nice game. 3,500 base XP in the Worcester is a very nice game, but we still ended up with 2846 base XP, which is still a fantastic result nonetheless. So let's continue on. So we managed 93k from high explosive armor piercing. I would have liked to seen a little bit more armor piercing in the replay, but you know, you can only expect so much from the situation that you were put in. So either way, it was a very nice game. I would say I know you're actually quite you wanted to use the AP a lot. I saw it throughout your replay. You're like trying to switch to AP a lot, and that's good. I like to see that in the Henri, because when you're fighting other tier 10 cruisers, it's actually quite deadly, and a lot of times people underestimate your firepower with your AP. They think, oh, well, I'm angled about 45 degrees, I should be okay. And then the Henri shells just come in, and they just get all pens, and then suddenly, you know, they're down 10k HP because either you got a citadel or you just got a lot of pens, and all of a sudden they have to rethink about angling towards you. So I do like to see that you are trying to use the AP as much as possible. But I hope you guys enjoyed this community replay. If you did, please leave a like, and you know, obviously send in your community replays as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, guys, and I will see you guys later.